am Rai, and with me is...
The kid.
And the little king.
And today we're talking about episode 19. So we open on Sakuya. He spots some creep bothering this lady. The guy says that she looks pretty good for a human. Red flag right there. He drags her along, but Sakuya stops him and pretty much scares him off. Jim reports that several cars have been suddenly sliced up with no one on surveillance footage. Jim says that the only common occurrence was a sudden gale of wind. The police wonder if this is some freak natural occurrence or something else. An angry old man, Counselor Yanagami, shows up and he starts scolding Hilltop and the officers for being less favored by the media than the LupinRangers. Sakuya retorts, kind of under his breath, that they aren't fighting for fame. But, of course, Yanagami hears him and starts reprimanding him. Hilltop lightens the mood by inviting him to Jurere. And Yanagami tells the officers to come along. Keiichiro and Tsukasa basically tell Sakuya to suck it up. And then we get the opening. Yeah, that was a fun one. Thoughts?
Fun, yes. Aggravating to deal with a boss that's so focused on his own wants that he's not even paying attention to the main problem. Also, yes. Ugh. What is it with Toku shows and having bosses that are assholes? Save for Commander's show. Thank God for that. It was pretty funny, though, I will admit. And I do agree. The little comment from the dude, like, pretty cute for a human, I would think, pull out the red flag, pull out the gun, and start put your fucking hands up, dude. And just bear with me on this. How is a gale of wind that leads to cars being cut in half a natural occurrence? I thought we went over this in Decker Rangers. Come on, people.
Yeah.
And then prove them all wrong anyway.
So, when I saw Sakuya approach the guy, I went, wait, is that Phoenix? Wait, let me pull up a photo. Oh my god, that's Phoenix from Kamen Rider Wizard. Super shocked to see him in this show, although the red streak looks good in his hair. As for Yanagami, or whatever his name is, God, he is the kind of boss I hate the most, where you can't even speak your opinion without it being disobedience or anything like that. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah. So we get the episode title, Number 19, Punishment for Disobeying Orders. The creep from earlier spots Sakuya walking into Jurere. He hides before taking off his human disguise. He's a gangler. Yanagami lectures the global police. Yeah, I know.
Sorry, it's just...
Plot twist.
Shocker!
You look pretty good for a human. Nah, must not be a gangler.
So Yanagami lectures the global police while they wait for food. Umika and Kairi bring them their dishes. Yanagami berates Sakuya just for waving at Umika. He tells him to stop chatting, even though he didn't even say anything.
This guy is the worst.
If you're not already banging your head on the surface you're watching this on, kudos to you for having a calm head.
God damn. This guy would fire me so quick.
Fire me? He'd have me banned from the premises within the hour.
Yeah. So Sakuya just stands up and pours a plate of food on his head. Uh, he knocks out Keiichiro with a punch to the face, and he insists that it's not him doing it. And then he kicks Sakuya and slams the table into Hilltop's face. Yanagami fires Sakuya. The gangler leaves Jiraiya, and of course he has a laugh in human form. Hilltop reports that Sakuya is not fired, but is under house arrest for 2 weeks. Keiichiro and Tsukasa can't believe Sakuya. Hilltop confiscates his VS changer and his vehicle for the remainder of his suspension.
Uh,
Oh, that poor boy. And I know we already know, but what do you want to bet that Phoenix son of a bitch had something to do with it?
Gee, the
I
fact that
know
he
we.
said, I'm gonna get him back for this, and then turned invisible.
Yeah, pretty much. That poor boy. Although they were wrong about one thing. Sometimes revenge can be served warm too. Yanagami got more than enough proof of that. um, I do really feel bad for Sakuya though. He really got the short end of the stick in more ways than one. At least he's not fired, but really, house arrest for 2 weeks? I mean, I will admit that throwing a table and punching your coworker out cold is a tad much, but house arrest? Really? A weekend, I guess, but seriously?
Mm, yeah, what I like, is the Lupin Rangers in the background at the restaurant. How, there's like, uh, that their boss, seems kind of uptight. And then Kyrie just starts smirking, like, oh, look at what they have to deal with. And Yanagami, quite frankly, deserved that. The others didn't, though. And while I can understand Keiichiro being mad at Sakuya for breaking his nose, you'd think that Tsukasa would be a bit more logical in terms of Sakuya would never hit us, even if he lost his temper at someone else. But oh well.
Yep, so at Jiraiya, Keiichiro apologizes and offers the thieves some PatoRanger themed snacks. Goody arrives, certain that a gangler was nearby. Kairi doubts it, but Toma has an idea. So apparently, Goody can smell ganglers.
Ready for that to never come up again.
Well, I guess he's a bloodhound in more ways than one now.
With this show, it might, but yeah. Umika, Kairi, and Toma arrive at Sakuya's apartment. Toma asks him to recall what happened the day before. Sakuya remembers that something grabbed him and was controlling his hand. Toma realizes that an invisible gangler was responsible. And Sakuya comes to the same conclusion after the thieves leave. Keiichiro and Tsukasa head to a gym that was cut in half to investigate. Sakuya calls in asking to be deployed. Yanagami warns him that he'll be fired if he leaves his house. He also threatens Hilltop as Sakuya's superior. Uh, yeah, what did you guys think about those two scenes?
good on Tsukasa and good on Toma for figuring it out. And mother fucking A, I swear. I cannot stand people like that because at this point, okay, for my Gokaiger fans, he seriously feels like Wall's Gil right now. That's seriously what he feels like. That's just ridiculous. How does that pass in society? I don't care how high of a status you may be in the Force. How does that pass in society?
He got to where he was, and so now he gets to say whatever he wants. That's how. Like, it's not fair, but like, hey, he's ahead of us now. I do like that the Lupin Rangers were just so shocked when they received the Pat Ranger stuff. Like, oh, yeah, cool. And then immediately regifted to Sakuya, who also has a bit of a blank look on his face when he's handed it, like, huh? But Yanagami is the worst, though, because he's straight up like, hey, Hilton, it's probably a gangler. And then Sakuya shows him, he's like, hey, I know it's a gangler. Shut up! You don't know anything! It's like, fuck you, pal.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. So the Ganglar slices the GSPO patrol car in half. Heichiro and Tsukasa barely make it out in time. Sakuya contemplates the risk of losing his job, but he leaves to save his friends. En route, he is stopped by Hilltop. He reminds Sakuya of the risk, but Sakuya tells him that he's fighting to protect everyone's smile, not his job. Hilltop gives him his VS changer and vehicle. It's a really nice scene. Keiichiro and Tsukasa are cornered by the invisible Ganglar, but Sakuya shoots him before he can use his wind slice attack. Sakuya was able to see the green light from his safe glow, even though he was invisible. And that pretty much convinces the others that Sakuya was innocent for pouring the food on Yanagami. The Keisatsu change and roll call. Thoughts?
Always happy for Hilltop moments, so thank you very much for that. And I love that they're using like the mechanics of past episodes to solve problems now. It's like, we know that their safe always glows when they're using their ability, so if it's an invisible monster, look for that and use it as a target. That's thing. And it's referencing what's already been told. And it's not show, don't tell. Thank you, writers, for being confident in that sense. And thank you for giving Sakuya a break.
In fact, even that Sakuya remembers, like, hey, the Lupin collection, that's a thing. It shows that they're paying attention to what's going on in the show. And then, oh yeah, Hilltop. Hilltop is also great. Like, it makes me sad that, like, there aren't more actual bosses that are like that in real life.
Yep. So the Ganglar turns invisible to counter, but he's covered in paint. Thieves swoop in and steal his collection piece before fleeing. Classy. Toma sympathizes with Sakuya and tells Goody to help the police this time. They defeat the Ganglar as PatoRanger. Gosh revives Shudar, that's the Ganglar's name, I think that's the second time we haven't gotten the Gangler's name to like the end of the episode.
We didn't really talk to
But
this one much.
yeah, he was just creeping around. Papa Kaiser deploys, and we actually get the second verse and chorus of theme, which is fun. Shudar attacks from stealth, but it's no match for Pato Kaiser. Strong biker. At the station, Sakuya is ready to lose his job, but Yanagami praises him for putting the PatoRangers back in the news cycle. He's completely forgotten about firing him.
Oh my
He
god.
pretty much skips off, just happy as can be. The GSPO are dumbfounded. Episode end. Wow, what a guy. Thoughts?
Um, I, I honestly don't know what to make of that. I really don't. Good fight scene, good Megazord. Yay for sympathizing between thieves and cops. Very classy on the thief side. I don't know what to make of the ending. I really don't.
I want to imagine that the things the thieves threw at Sudar was the PatoRanger sweets, because that's just hilarious to me. Also, I love that when Umika called him an octopus and Tuma called him a squid, and when Tuma pointed out he was an octopus, Umika just went agape. Like she legit didn't realize it. I'm glad we got to see Pat Kaiser like change both arms. The Lupin Kaiser had done it a couple times already, so it's good to see the cops get something. And smart move of the bike yo-yo. Like, hey, we can't see our enemy, let's just hit everywhere at once. As for the ending, where Yanagami has forgotten everything because the PatoRangers are in the media now, no. Like, how could he just forgive and forget like that? Is being famous, is like being in the media's attention that important to him? Earlier, when Sakuya first said, it was like, oh, we're not doing this for fame, though, if he had said, I don't care, I don't want the thieves to be more popular than the cops, it's like, you're an asshole, but you have a point. But here, just he didn't make that argument, and here he's just like, yeah, we're famous now, so I don't care, whatever. Break my nose next.
Yeah, my only problem was that this guy's gonna be just some one-off. I mean, it still was kind of good development for Sakuya, but I don't know. It might have been a little better if maybe Hilltop was actually mad at him. I don't know,
When
but it was still a fun episode nonetheless.
I like that when Hilltop confiscated his VS changer, though, all he said was, I'll hold on to that. He didn't say hand it over, didn't say give that, he just said, I'll hold on to that. Even then, he was nice about it.
Yeah.
That is why he is the one thing I like about the Pet Rangers that I don't like about the Lupin Rangers. So
Nice
yeah,
boss.
I'm always happy.
Versus
Yeah.
Kagure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you, Deckard, on that one. Just oh my god, I hate. I don't want to say hate. That's harsh. I just do not want to tolerate that kind of person. Like, especially when their ego is fulfilled, because then they're just gonna keep egging on it. It's like, oh, why couldn't you have done it now like you did it then? It's like, oh my god. And most of the time, like this case, it's realistic in a sense, because even then their arguments are still shit half the time. So it's like, why even Okay.
Yeah, and he was saying, "I always had faith in you, Sakuya."
Yeah, but other
Oh,
than that,
Cut
I
to the
did.
previous day. How did a guy like you even get into the Elite Force?
Hmm. But on the bright side, I am glad that Sakuya is starting to grow a backbone.
Sakuya has his ideals, even if he's easygoing a lot of the time. Uh, okay, are we done talking about this episode, or is there anything more?
nope, we're done.
I'm good.
Okay, do we want to talk about the next episode preview?
Yes!
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, the sixth member, technically seventh for the series, but the sixth. We're finally getting him, episode 20, which is
I call dibs.
oh, okay. Uh, uh, so a lot of us, like before the show even started, knew what his suit would be from the toy scans, but we could only like speculate, like, oh, is it one person with two suits? Yes, it is. So now we had to speculate on how it was going to play out. Seems at one point we were guessing, like, oh, maybe they're going to hide their identity from both teams and just be this mysterious new, like, member. They're not doing that though. In fact, I'm wondering if he's only going to like use the suit of whatever team he's with at the time. Like, oh hey, the thieves are here, use the thief suit. The cops are here, use the cop suit.
Yeah, he seems
He's sort of like.
not really concerned about hiding his identity.
He feels sort of like a combination between Ho-Oh Soldier, Maji Shine, and Gokai Silver. And I am okay with that. He just seems like so much fun. And I want to see this dude now. And
Yeah,
let's
the
just hold
suits
it
do
for the
look
record,
nice.
okay? I call dibs.
So his silver form is the thief form,
Yep. And
and
his
his gold is police, I guess.
so
Yep.
I'm kind of getting sick of the six members being either silver or gold.
Yeah.
It's
We've talked
almost
about this a lot.
it's
Yeah.
almost all we get nowadays, and it upsets me even more that these suits are actually really good. I just hope.
I mean, sorry.
Go on. You go on.
The only instances we've gotten like deviations was, shows like Tokuger and Time Ranger and Q Ranger, stuff like that. I do understand the problem, but I mean it's popular for a reason.
Since Magi Ranger, I believe it has either been gold or silver, with a few or both sometimes, with a few exceptions, such as Tokuger last year's Q Ranger, and I feel like there was another one.
Time Ranger?
No. I'm talking about since Magi Ranger, because that's when it really kicked
Oh.
off on everyone being
Decky
either
Ranger?
gold or silver. Since
Decky Ranger?
Magi Ranger. Magi Ranger came after Deca Ranger.
I said Geki
Oh,
Ranger.
Gekki. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you said yes, Gekki Ranger. That was the one. Yeah, few exceptions since Magi Ranger that haven't been gold or silver, and I get it. They always look really good, but I like having a bit more variety. Like, can we
Does
get
Kyoryuger count?
does what?
Does Kyoryuger count?
The sixth member was technically gold. The other four were just additional members.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were different.
And then
from
the
some-
final one was silver.
Yeah, but the ones in between weren't.
Which was
they're-
nice, but the technical sixth member of that series was gold. I'm sorry, it's
Okay.
just
No, I get it.
Yeah, but-
give me a white again. Like, when was the last time we had a white?
Oh, okay. What about Zyuohger?
Georgia, wasn't he like silver with some gold and something else?
And
No,
black.
he was more black.
Okay. I didn't actually watch that series.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you that. Maybe he wasn't silver. So okay, there's been more exceptions than I thought of, but still, give us another like white six or something.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't have any more to say except for I'm looking forward to what sort of game this guy's playing. Whose side is he really on?
Probably his own.
Or yeah, what is
Fun.
his own side?
So here's my guess. Because the Power Rangers have referenced their HQ in France multiple times. So I'm betting that this guy is from France. Like he's from the HQ, but he also is connected to Lupin. So, which is why he's playing both sides.
Could be.
All right. If no one else has anything to say, then that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with Kamen Rider Build. That series is approaching its finale. And next week for Lupin slash Patran X. See you next time.
Adieu, and later, taters.